To warm up for this, we're going to talk about neuropathy. And one of the big things about neuropathy is making sure we get oxygen. Okay? So, here we go. Now, a lot of people don't understand what neuropathy actually is, because neuropathy is one of those unknown problems where people believe they know, they think they know, but the treatments that they're getting for neuropathy tells me you don't know, right? Most doctors don't have a good understanding of what neuropathy is. Most people believe that neuropathy is a nerve problem and a nerve disease only. I will break down step by step on how, number one, neuropathy works, what it is, who gets it, what type of symptoms do you have, and is it possible to reverse the symptoms of neuropathy. Here we go. So what is neuropathy? Neuropathy is when your nerves are starting to disease, where they're starting to dwindle down, they're not getting the same signals anymore. So now it could happen anywhere. Peripheral neuropathy is the nerves dying off at your peripheral parts of your body, which is your hands, your fingertips, your feet, and usually peripheral neuropathy comes from here and it goes all the way down to your elbows and then it stops. Whereas in your feet, it'll go from your feet all the way up to your knees and it'll stop. Then there is autonomic neuropathy, where your body, the organs of your bodies actually stops to function. Your throat might stop functioning, so you can't swallow well anymore. Your heart and lungs stops functioning, and now your blood flow is not as good anymore. Your gut, your liver, your kidneys, all can have causes and have symptoms of autonomic neuropathy. How you would feel it is one organ stops working. You might not be able to use the bathroom as much. You might not have this good digestion anymore. Your breathing is affected. Your liver detoxification is all affected. That is autonomic neuropathy. There are also systemic neuropathy where you can feel it throughout your whole body. So with systemic neuropathy, peripheral neuropathy, and autonomic neuropathy, you can get either one. So the question is, how does it work? Why do you get it? Before we dive into that, let's talk about the prevalence and how often neuropathy happens. Up to 20 million or more people in the US have some form of peripheral neuropathy. That's almost 10% of our population. Well, how does it come on? The number one population of people who have neuropathy are people with diabetes. All right? If you are pre-diabetic or have full-blown diabetes, you have a much higher chance of getting neuropathy. How high, you might ask? Up to 80% of people with diabetes will experience some form of neuropathy. So if you have diabetes, chances are it's a matter of time if you don't start reversing some of the different day-to-day things that you're doing and your values and the food you eat and exercise, you'll end up with neuropathy. Now the thing is, second most important and the second most prevalent problem and disease that will cause neuropathy is chemotherapy or cancer treatments. Because in cancer treatment, you're killing off the nerves, right? And your body, and hopefully, well, your cancer cells die first before your body's own nervous system dies off first. Then there are your certain medication can also induce neuropathy. Alcohol, drug abuse, okay? Physical, posture, injuries can also cause neuropathy as well. And those are the top 5 causes of neuropathy. Now, what neuropathy does, let's for example, peripheral neuropathy, it's the most prevalent form of the 3 types, autonomic, systemic, peripheral. Peripheral is the most prevalent, which means that it happens most often from those 5 different diseases. How it happens is each of those diseases or conditions cuts off oxygen flow to the nerves. So when it cuts off oxygen flow to your nerves, the nerves that are furthest away from your heart and lungs get affected the most and first. Fingertips and your toes gets affected the most. And at the beginning, here's the symptoms. You may feel some burning sensation, some tingling, some numbness, right? Well, eventually it becomes so painful that you can't put your socks on. It's hard for you to put a blanket on at night. It could be worse at night when you're not moving. It's hard to put your feet on the ground and start walking. It affects all walks of life. Affects your sleep, affects the way you do things. You're now not able to walk long distance anymore. And eventually, if it gets bad enough, you're cutting off the blood flow to those nerves and muscles. Eventually, your nerves will start to die off slowly. The tissue around those nerves will start to die off slowly. And let's say you get a cut. Why do they tell people with diabetes to check your feet all the time? Is because number one, you might not feel your feet. And number two, if you get a cut, you're not going to have the same oxygen flow to support your feet anymore. And what happens is that you now can have a higher chance, and you will have a higher chance of an infection. And if you don't get to that infection fast enough, that infection will eat away at the tissue, the nerve, and eventually to the bone. And if it eats away to the bone and it starts traveling through the bone marrow or the middle of your bone to other parts of your body, it infects the whole leg. That's where the doctors will have to make a decision. If it gets that bad, you might need an amputation. So what we do in the office is try to catch people before it gets that bad through a very specific 10-point exam and helping people with the symptoms of neuropathy, teaching you how to eat, teaching you how to exercise, really going after the cause of the problem, which is blood flow to begin with, all right? So for those of you who might have some of these symptoms, who are wondering, wow, can my family be helped? Can I be helped? Can my friends be helped? Send them this video, and maybe you're close by, but maybe you're not, and we need to find someone near you to help you with your neuropathy. All right? Have a great day.